My name is Aslama, and today I will share my English literacy journey and how language, culture, and identity shape who I am in intercultural spaces. So, right before English, my world was rooted in my local culture and mother tongue in Palopo, South Sulawesi. So, Palopo is a small village, and you can imagine how distant it is and unfamiliar to my daily life. So, this is my first real encounter with English. Came through my sister who worked in Russia. She taught me that English can connect people across countries and cultures. So, I started to learn English with some of Disney movies such as Winnie the Pooh, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland's books, and Harry Potter. Well, at that time, English felt foreign. There was no supportive environment, limited access, and confusing materials that made learning feel difficult and distant. But over time, my perspective changed. I dared myself to join lots of English competitions, and slowly it became something meaningful that I wanted to understand more and use. Right, I was shaped by several media, as you can see here. It was English musical movies and Ariana Grande songs. They helped me to learn English just more alive, expressive, and personal. So now that I'm being used with English, I often mix English with Indonesian in my daily conversations, as you can see here. But however, this code switching shows how language adapt naturally depending on context and comfort. Also, I did. Yes, my childhood dreams to be just like my sister, like English connect me with people beyond my culture. As a lingua franca, it allows me to communicate with people across the country such as United States and Australia without replacing my local identities. Through more than 3 years of working experience, English also became a professional tool that supports my communication, confidence, and career development. But honestly, using English academically and professionally was challenging. I struggled with structure, college subjects that way harder, and expectations, especially in formal contexts. But honestly, however, these struggles somehow helped me grow. English became a space where I learned resilience, adaptability, and stronger communication. Now, you can see that my English is shaped by multiple identities: local, personal experience, academic, and professional. Each of these layers influences how I use a language in different situations. Right, as you can see here, these trophies are my cultural artifact. It just represents a meaningful moment in my English journey. It's always reminds me that behind every victory that I've accomplished, there will be always sleepless nights and many effort that I poured into it. Also, learning English changed how I see others. It increased my awareness of cultural differences and taught me empathy and communication, as well as it affect how I think and express emotions. Sometimes English allows me to articulate ideas more clearly than my first language. And here it is, present selves. Today, I see myself as an English user, not just as a learner, but as a part of who I am, my personal branding, or how I wanted to be labeled, and how I communicate to the world. In the future, English will support my academic goals, especially English Magister program in Australia, as a socialpreneur who will build her own English academy, and participation in global and intercultural spaces. So, yeah, I realized that English is not just a communication tool. It shapes my identity, confidence, and how I position myself in intercultural spaces. And my final wish, I wish that we do not only learn English as a language, but also use it respectfully and confidently across cultures, becoming interculturally competent communicators. For my closing statements, English is not just a language, but a key that opens global opportunities. And last I say, thank you for listening, and remember, no matter who you are or where you came from, never stop learning. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you in fourth semester.